Today I am sharing my top 3 favorite cozy hobbies on the Daily Connoisseur. Hello everyone, Jennifer here, and welcome back to my channel. So we're talking about something today that I am so passionate about. We are talking about hobbies. I have many hobbies, but 3 of them are so prevalent in my life right now. They are my top 3 favorite hobbies. So I thought I'd share them with you with the hopes that they might inspire you to bring back some hobbies that you love into your life. Now, in my new book, The Daily Connoisseur's Guide to Living Well at Home, there's a whole section on high quality leisure. That's what I like to call hobbies, because they are not just some cutesy thing you kind of do in your spare time. I think that high quality leisure activities really can determine how well we are living. And I share a few quotes in my chapter, and we start off with the Virginia Woolf quote that I talk about here on the channel a lot. And she says, "If you are losing your leisure, look out. It may be that you are losing your soul." Now, whenever I share this, I get comments from people looking at this from a religious perspective, so I don't want you to do that. We're not talking about losing our soul literally, okay? And I don't think Virginia Woolf was either. I think what she meant by this was that if we are losing our leisure activities, the things that we have passion about, that we do because we choose to, not because we're obligated to, if we lose that, we are losing the essence of who we are. And I completely believe that, because I had an entire decade where I did not do my hobbies, and I was miserable. I've always been someone who has had a lot of interests, a lot of hobbies. And so when I was in my 30s, it was literally all work and no play for me. It was just working and not sleeping and working and cleaning and working, and I just wasn't doing my hobbies, and I was miserable. So anyway, I am never doing that ever again. I will never lose my leisure. And I have another quote in this chapter, and it is from Ralph Waldo Emerson. And he says, "Guard well your spare moments. They're like uncut diamonds. Discard them and their value will never be known. Improve them and they will become the brightest gems in a useful life." And I absolutely love that quote. We need to guard well our spare moments. And what so many of us find ourselves doing in our spare moments is doom scrolling, or binge watching some show or something that we don't care about that much. And that is not guarding well our spare moments. We should always aim for those high quality leisure activities. You could call them cozy hobbies, whatever resonates with you, but we should reclaim those. Whenever we do endless scrolling, we are never ever satisfied. Like, who doesn't regret doing that? Oh, I feel like everybody does. So we have to guard well our moments, and that means to be intentional with them. So having said that, let me share the first cozy hobby with you that I have reclaimed. And if you subscribe to my newsletter, which you can do so for free at jenniferlscott.com, I shared this in my February newsletter. This is the new surprising hobby that I've been absolutely loving, and it is puzzling. So why is this surprising? Because I have a strange, complicated relationship with puzzling. I have always loved puzzles, but I had this weird rule in my head that I could only do them with my children, or that it was like a childish hobby. So over the years, we would always get our children puzzles for their birthday or for Christmas. And whenever they wanted to do the puzzle, I was right there. Like, I wanted to do the puzzle with them, and I would love it. So that should have been my first clue that I love puzzling, because I always really was enthusiastic about doing the puzzles with my kids. In my rational so-called mind, I thought puzzles are a waste of time. Like, you can't do anything else really while you're doing the puzzle. Who has time for puzzles? That's what I thought to myself. But as you know, this year I am really cultivating a year of beauty and beyond, not just this year, where I am not so productivity driven and more about enjoying the beauty of life. And so puzzling is the perfect cozy hobby for that, because you really can't be productive, quote unquote, while you're doing a puzzle. It's not like you could do the laundry while you're doing a puzzle or do your taxes while you're doing a puzzle. You have to just do the puzzle, okay? So the revelation that I had came this Christmas because, again, we got all of our children puzzles. I love to get them from White Mountain Puzzles because they were in a gift guide of mine a few years ago. So I got them all White Mountain Puzzles, and we started doing them during the Christmas holidays. And I noticed that long after my children would lose interest in the puzzle, I would stay on and I would keep working on the puzzle. And I noticed that I would get in a meditative flow state while working on the puzzle. And it felt really good. And not only that, but every time I would put a piece down on the puzzle, I would get a hit of dopamine, and it never subsided. So, you know, like that feeling that you're chasing when you're endlessly scrolling and you finally come across something that's funny or something that resonates and you get a hit of dopamine. It's like that every time you put a puzzle piece together. So I heard someone say that if you do 1,000-piece puzzle, that's 1,000 hits of dopamine right there. And I love that. So there actually are benefits to puzzling. It is good for your brain, for your cognition, for your motor skills, and so many other things. That could be a whole other video. So it's not like you're just doing something that's pointless, but I find for me that it really regulates my nervous system and I fully enjoy it. So I thought, you know what? I am not gatekeeping this hobby anymore. I'm not telling myself that I can only do it with my children if we're doing like a childish puzzle or something. I am now going to have a puzzle going at all times. I have decided this until I, move on from this hobby, which I actually don't think I ever will. For example, right now we are working through a 1,000-piece Ravensburger puzzle. I think this is called Mother Gooseville, and I picked this up at Barnes & Noble, and I love this. I'm in heaven. I don't do it by myself because, like I said, there are other members of my family who like puzzling. We do it in the evenings. So I like to listen to beautiful music while I'm puzzling, and lately I've been listening to 2 different playlists. One is the Secret Garden playlist, and then the other one is from my friend Luke Faulkner. He has incredible playlists on his channel. He is a neoclassical pianist and he is like so talented. So anyway, I've been listening to his winter playlist while I puzzle. So I just get into this wonderful state. Let's talk puzzle logistics. I now have a puzzle board that I have put on the dining room table. It is amazing. It spins around. It props up at an angle. It has sorting drawers in it. I love this thing. I got it on Amazon and I'll leave it linked down below. Before, I was just doing puzzles directly on the dining room table, which was a problem if we ever needed the table because I couldn't take the puzzle off. So now I have this. I can put a little protective sheet over it, which comes with this board, and I could store it away like under the sofa or anything if I need to use the dining room table. So that is a major plus. So yes, it has been amazing for me for regulating my nervous system, for relaxing, for spending quality time with my family. I am usually puzzling at least for, an hour or so with one of my kids. So it's really been wonderful. After I finish Mother Gooseville, I am going to be doing the Secret Garden puzzle. So anyway, it's so exciting. No matter what high quality leisure you are engaging in, it is very important to stay hydrated. And that's why I'd like to thank the sponsor for today's video, which is LMNT. LMNT is a tasty electrolyte drink mix with everything you need and nothing you don't. That means lots of salt and no sugar. LMNT contains a science-backed electrolyte ratio of 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. And it is formulated to help anyone with their electrolyte needs. Not only does LMNT have the drink mixes, but they also have a sparkling line, which is my absolute favorite. They have no sugar, no caffeine, and all electrolytes. LMNT Sparkling delivers the same zero sugar electrolyte formulation that you already trust, now in a gorgeous can of sparkling water. They have amazing flavors too, like pineapple salt, citrus salt, black cherry salt. I love them. Right now, LMNT is offering my viewers a free 8-count sample pack of LMNT's most popular drink mix flavors with any order. That's 8 single-serving packets free with any LMNT order. This is a great way to try fan favorite flavors or share LMNT with a salty friend. So get yours at drinklmnt.com/dailyc. This deal is only available through my link. You must go to drinklmnt.com/dailyc. Okay, my second favorite hobby right now, and probably forever, is reading. Reading is my #1 favorite hobby. It has been the hobby that has been with me most of my life. It's my earliest hobby. I've always been an avid reader. And in that very dark decade, in my 30s, I was reading a little bit, but I was mostly listening to audiobooks. I didn't have time to read a book. And much like with the puzzles, I would tell myself, who has time to sit down and actually read a book? Because again, you can't do anything else while you're reading a book, a physical book. You have to sit down and read it. And so when I was in that hyper productivity mode, I thought, I don't have time for this. I mean, I longed for it, but I just really realistically did not feel like I could do it. So I have claimed that back. As you know, if you watch my channel, I'm always sharing my TBRs. And by the way, my spring TBR is coming out really soon. But I make time to read every single day. Now, I do read a physical book every day, and I also listen to audiobooks every day. So I'm always listening, I'm always reading something. But I am so back into reading. It is a hobby that I will never, ever give up. I will always be reading a good book. I will always have a book in my handbag with me in a waiting room. Like, I will never release this hobby again. So if you used to be an avid reader and you let it go for whatever reason, I did for a while when I was more into watching television than I was reading. I just would love for you to try it again and get back into a book that is going to suck you back in. And my best advice for that is to ask yourself truly, without any shame, what is my favorite genre? Maybe you love romance novels, or maybe you love mysteries like I do, and try to find one maybe that's really well reviewed or really popular, or something that you know is going to lure you back in to the reading world. But I know that a lot of you already are avid readers and you don't need any encouragement from me in that area. I think the problem for most adults is that they really don't have the time to read. And that's what I hear from a lot of people, is that you would love to do it, but between watching your children and cooking and cleaning and working, you just don't have the time. So here's my tips for that, because I understand this, I really do. And here's how I carve out the time. If I am able to, I will usually carve out some time at around tea time every day. And I love to have tea time every single day. So if you can carve out even 15 to 20 minutes in the afternoon, you could do that. However, I understand that that's not possible for a lot of people. So in that case, during the day when you're busy, you could listen to an audiobook, whether it's because you're cleaning and you have to listen to it in your ear, or because you have a long commute to work or whatever it is, you can listen to an audiobook. But here is my non-negotiable. Almost every single evening I take a hot bath. And this is my time. Like, I bolt the door. Nobody's coming in. I take a bath. I soak in the bath for at least 20 minutes. And during this time, I will read my book. I don't get any interruptions. It is amazing. So I'm sorry for the TMI, but that's what I do. I read my books in the bath, and then I also read right before I go to sleep. If I'm reading something like a mystery or a thriller and I don't want to read it right before I fall asleep, I'll read something else. But I'm always reading because I also read nonfiction too. So I'll usually read the nonfiction right before I fall asleep. And then the fiction I will read in the bath. If I don't read at tea time, I will carve out like sometimes 40 minutes in the afternoon where I'm just laying down and reading my book. And sometimes, yes, the housework goes to pot. I mean, not that dramatic, but sometimes I don't get to things, and that's okay, because sometimes I need to just lay down and read a book. So anyway, if you're curious, I just finished the last one at the wedding by Jason Rekulak. I'm not sure how you pronounce his name, but I loved this thriller, and this concludes my winter TBR. I read everything and more in my winter TBR, so I'll share all of those updates with you in my next video, and I've already started on my spring TBR. I'm branching out of my mystery thriller genre, and I am reading a romance novel because we're in the month of February. So this is Book Lovers by Emily Henry, and I have just begun it. I'm only on page 48. So anyway, that's what I'm reading right now, and I just love the feeling of being in a book and wanting to know what happens next. It's like returning to this secret place every day that no one knows about, you know, because reading is a solitary activity. So anyway, I love that hobby. And then the final cozy hobby that I have been loving lately is pen paling. Yes, letter writing. It's something that I am passionate about. And you know what? I'm noticing a theme with all of my hobbies. These are all hobbies that I used to think I didn't have time for. And often people will say, I don't really have time to sit down and write a letter to somebody. But that's kind of the point, is that you carve out time. You cannot do anything else while you're doing it other than maybe listening to music or something. There's so much to the art of letter writing. I love exploring stationery and fountain pens and different inks and wax seals. When I was in Charleston, I made a new friend, Catherine Hastings, and she has the most amazing wax seals. And I bought a strawberry wax seal that I absolutely adore from her. So I love using that. And I have just some really interesting, lovely pen pals. I'm a little behind at this point of writing to my pen pals. And so I have 3 letters to write. I'm going to write to, and you might know who all of these people are actually, which is very cool. But I need to write to Miranda Mills, who is a dear friend of mine now. She is the author of the Country Commonplace book. She has her own YouTube channel, and I just appeared on a podcast for her. So if I have that information by the time this video goes up, I'll link it down below. But Miranda is delightful, so I'm going to write her a letter. Dr. Chloe is a dear friend of mine. She's been on my channel before. She's a very accomplished author and psychologist. I love Dr. Chloe, and I am due to write her a letter. And then Alice Tate, who illustrated my book, and I absolutely love her. She made the book so beautiful. She's actually sending me a book in the mail, and I can't wait to read it. And so when that comes in, I'll be writing back to her. And then also, my 2 nephews are away at college, and I have been meaning to send them a care package. So that is something that I'm going to do. Now, a tip for letter writing, because it can seem daunting, is to just get yourself set up for it. Light a candle, play some music, get all your stationery out on the table, and you can sit down and just know that you're going to write these letters. And there is no better feeling than putting your letters in the post box or taking them to the post office and knowing that they've gone out into the world and that you are probably going to receive something back. It's a wonderful feeling. So anyway, I look forward to getting caught up on my letter writing. By the way, if you would like a pen pal, we have a pen pal program in the Chic Society. It's my channel membership group here on YouTube. So a lot of you, there's over 1,000 people in the pen pal program writing to each other around the world. So if you're looking for a pen pal, you should definitely join the Chic Society. And I'm running a new program every month, so you can find a new pen pal there. All right, everyone, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I feel like I could have talked about all of these things so much more, so I will explore them in future videos if you like. I'd also like to thank LMNT for sponsoring today's video. If you go to drinklmnt.com/dailyc, you can get a free sample pack with any order. So thank you so much for watching today, everyone. I would love to know what your favorite hobbies are. Please leave them in the comment section down below. And in the meantime, keep calm and remain classy, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.